Welcome back. Last time we found out that heat leeches turn into terramorphs. So that's a new development. I gotta cure my frostbite here. Might as well just take this amp, right? Why isn't it using the stolen one first? That's stupid. Treat my frostbite, please. And let's boogity boogity boogity. So Andrea doesn't like anything I say. You know, you guys don't all have to come into the building just because I did. Well, I don't know what that just did. Is there another one in this building? Is this gonna be a boss fight up in this? Yup.
What the hell? Is that the sample? My God, concentrate fire! Shoot! Shoot! That is the sample? Come on then. We have lost.
Why is it talking?
Good. Now just stash that sample with Kaiser and we're done. All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
See you soon.
So we have to return? I'm just fucking them all up for the XP. Give me that XP. It disappeared.
Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like
Barely.
a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion. Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vay Victus knew about this damn plan?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond.
Do I drop the bomb? Let's find out.
I'm sorry, what?
Captain, now's really not the time to be making cracks like that. No. No, that can't be. I saw him. He's actually really alive? My God. And you've known that, what? All this time? And decided now was the time to bring it up? You swore? You swore. You were just doing your duty. I know. I know what that's like.
Now I'm breaking my duty. I hope you know what that's like.
At long last.
Well, that revelation sure as hell changes things.
It certainly does.
Vay Victus is alive after all this time. So his execution was, what, a lie? A cover-up? Absolutely unconscionable.
It also makes my father the only solid lead we've got on the attacks. Look, Percival and I, we need to tend to these samples. Guarantee we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But I think you, Captain, should get in contact with my father and find out what he might know about the attacks. Good. We'll all meet back at Mast, outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to know everything we've uncovered here. Best of luck, Captain. And thank you for dealing with him.
Cha-ching. Let's go store some shit.
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
wonder if I can modify that. Now what am I carrying that's so heavy? 24 frag grenades? I'm gonna have to just assume that that's what's going on. Well, let's store that. And that. Should I sleep to get my health back? Don't want to sleep in the prison, that's weird. Ugh.
Come on. There are worlds to conquer.
All thrusters firing. Achieving orbit now.
Value again. You're advised to leave this orbit immediately. The United Colonies will not be held responsible for any harm you suffer by proceeding. Critical mission. Oh, you're with the collection team, aren't you? Fine. We'll send word you're on your way down.
I'm not, I just took off. Did you not see that?
Well, you didn't put us into a planet,
This
so
is
we must
United
be in the
Colonies
right place.
base. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband. And complete.
If it were not for the lodge, I think I would avoid this city. It is all just too much.
Yeah, I mean, they got holes in their floors and shit. I would avoid it too. Sergeant Yumi's always looking for me.
Kill for a cup of coffee right about now.
Think about if there's something you need. No, of course, of course. Of course, of course.
43 Ultra Mag. I'm basically, unless it's just got a name like this, I'm gonna sell anything white. I'll sell that and buy it back. Doesn't have the money to give me what I need. Although I will buy back. You don't have the money.
If you need anything else, you know where to find us.
I should probably go clear a Freestar Collective bounty before I leave this planet.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? Good news then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current...
I'm not jumping to any conclusions. I'm just telling you what I found.
Interpret. Such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once: halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. Easy to say now, but at the time, I didn't know the Lazarus plant couldn't be plucked from the ground and used to cause even more death. I wasn't going to allow another dangerous variable to be added to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No.
Yeah, that's not really
We were
important.
sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
And this place isn't wired for sound?
There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
I'm already a citizen, dog.
I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Though we needn't be enemies, you and I. Just think about the opportunity I've provided.
Yikes. Another decision to be made.
Authorized personnel only.
What is it?
Has to stay here.
If I can take a few things.
I didn't mean to trade.
I will watch your back.
I always do that. This isn't where I parked my car.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
I mean, if I lie, nobody will know, right?
Orlays? Reginald Orlays? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him? Oh yeah. Both worked for UC Defense Research way back when. Different departments, but everyone knew Orlays. Had a mean eye for weapons tech. And a meaner temper. Wasn't exactly a surprise when he fled instead of standing trial after the Colony War. But finding out he's taken up mass murder in the years since, that is a shock. You're sure about this?
If he is responsible, let us hope the cabinet deals with it swiftly and harshly.
That's some impressive work. So then give us the rundown. Where's Orlays now? Were you able to bring him in? I'm sorry to hear that. Those sorts of missions are always tough. Any idea why he might have done it? Or what he was doing with the plant? I can't imagine the amount of work it took to deploy the Lazarus plant off-world. Strange to go to all that trouble and not state your reasons.
Well, the man knew how to hold a grudge. I wouldn't be shocked if this was him getting back at the UC for trying to put him
See, everyone's
outside.
better off for not knowing.
I guess. Well, at least he won't be able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs. They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Asylees seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch him. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new
Well, nobody
worlds
told me
is
that
minimal.
before when I made my
Using
decision.
them to clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with known risks.
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference. And here we go.
Where's the holy shit guy?
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using Terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orles commit these attacks, Captain?
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinian.
Reginald Orles? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain. I guess that didn't go according to plan.
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission, and who ordered it. Did you two suspect at the time Orles might have been involved in the attacks? Well, it appears you were ahead of the curve. This report contains definitive evidence Orles triggered the attacks via this Lazarus plant the Captain and Major Sanan uncovered.
Simply harrowing.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable for him to have finally faced the UC's justice, it seems both of you are to be commended for ensuring he was dealt with before he could strike again.
Nice.
You have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President. Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
Agreed. Any effort to de-escalate the situation should be considered. Being as open as possible would be a valuable move.
Oh, that is an interesting idea.
Plus, I'd see it as like
Grand
diplomatic
gesture
outreach.
To further display
Yeah,
this
exactly.
cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the Collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The cabinet
There's
has
another
agreed
topic?
to implement a plan
Oh, right.
that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also heat leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution.
Yeah.
The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
I think I'd have to go with the safe route here. You might get 1 or 2 casualties, but the microbe could cause many more. Aseles it is.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
The first step in a bold new future.
Bolder, better, and brighter. Well, I need to write that one down for later.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day 1 for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you 3 the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its
Wouldn't
cause.
say I did that, but...
Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive. You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Give me my money. Boom. Holy shit me.
You're out there a lot, right? In space? Just do us all a favor and never turn into one of those spacers. Scum of the galaxy. Robbing, stealing, killing. Even the Crimson Fleet don't trust them.
You've got quite a bit of work ahead of you,
One of the
Captain.
finest views in New
Best get
Atlantis.
to it.
But we'd be going nowhere if it
Wow, I gotta talk to a lot of people now all of a sudden. Actually, actually. Hold on.
Authorized personnel. Threat has to stay here.
I did this because extra missions.
What's this? Just you then? No UC executioner. So the cabinet knows the truth about Orlays. Splendid. That means you and I can get to work. We were in the middle of an all-out war, Captain. Committing ships to save the city would have left another undefended. Which city would you prefer I'd sacrificed? Sidonia? Gagarin? New Atlantis? And if anyone else had
There's a
learned
city
about
on
the Lazarus
Gagarin?
plant,
I should go check it out.
the risk was too great. I weighed the options and made the call. Once we'd cracked synthesizing the Lazarus plant's pollen, research that took years in and of itself, the attacks were exceedingly simple. Orlays' ship would land on our target, bearing a few heat leeches. Nothing that would raise suspicion. Then Lazarus pollen was pumped out of the ship during liftoff from the planet's surface. Shortly thereafter, an attack. A strike perpetrated in mere moments, with no one being the wiser.
Why wouldn't they just like, hey, what ship was that just left before the attack?
Well, thanks to our combined efforts, the Sanan name has more clout with the cabinet than it has in years. I hope to build on that. I have a long list of names civilized society would be better without. I just need someone to help me remove them from the picture. Should we begin the hunt? Or did you have questions? Just making the settled systems a little safer. Arms dealers, rogue scientists, UC turncoats, war criminals from the colony war. Each poses a threat if left unchecked. I'd be directing you to them, and you'd be making the galaxy better for us all. The UC doesn't consider these threats worthy of action just yet. But by the time they do, it may well be too late. Which is why
So
we'll
potential
be dealing
like
with them before
terrorists.
they can cause greater harm. As far as possible legal repercussions, I'll only be sending you to targets once they're away from the general populace. You may have to deal with some mercenaries or other general banditry, but no one's gonna shed a tear if a merchant of death or a chem peddler and their henchmen meet an early end. You won't be going after anyone that you see might miss. So you needn't fear in that regard. Just what I was hoping to hear. There's a slate waiting for you in the transfer system. Those are the details for our first, person of interest. Find them, eliminate them, and make the galaxy a better place for it. Though I would expect some resistance when trying to approach the target. Deal with any you encounter as you see fit.
Just a little server room. That's a waste. Why would I do that? So I used all that for absolutely nothing. Well then.
What did you need? Yes, good. Let's go.
Don't worry, Andrea. I wasn't up to no good or nothing. Commander Tulala.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. No need to thank me. You brought this all on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats.
Nice, lots of missions.
Any of those missions call to you? Suppose that's true. Well, we can remedy that right now. Transferring that to you. Done. Report says ships at these coordinates fired on United Colonies craft. You're cleared to use lethal force if necessary. Notes mention a spacer presence in that sector, so be ready for a nasty one. Good hunting, Captain.
Well, David Barron mission's still broken, I can tell. Put up posters of Vae Victus, I can do that. I bet you Andrea's not gonna like it. If I tell her to wait here.
Ah, hello. I'll be here when you need me.
They're always about a move.
gonna be stuck in this place for long. All I need
Hi. How you doing?
Alright, Andrea. You're back on the squad.
Problem?
Did you need some? You lead. I will follow. We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can... A journalist? That's a surprise. Most people don't think anything that goes on in the well is worth writing about. I'd be happy to help if I can. Things are always rough at the med bay. I'm the closest thing to a doctor that the well has, and I can't treat everyone. The last few weeks have been...
You're doing your best.
There's some kind of infection going around, and a lot of kids down here are catching it. It just breaks my heart to see. Oh, you're sweet to offer. There might be something you can do, if you're willing. Let's chat again when you have some time to spare, all right? Sure, if you'd like. My name's Talia. I was born and raised right here in the well. I've been the nurse here at the med bay for over a decade now. Once upon a time, I was a combat medic for the UC Navy. When the colony war ended, I came back to the well to put my skills to use for the people here. Things are always the same in the well. Violent and dangerous.
All is well.
I swear I treat more injuries here than I did when I was a Navy medic. All right, dear. You let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. 3 gunshots this week alone. I guess we know where UC Security's priorities are. And aren't. Oh, you remembered. I'm touched, dear, really.
That was
Yes,
15
there's
seconds ago.
Absolutely something you can do to help. All the children seem to have the same stomach bug, but I'm having trouble diagnosing it. Pediatrics isn't my specialty. But one of my colleagues, Dr. Lebedev, is an expert. If I had his research notes, I'm sure I could diagnose the disease and find a treatment. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd go myself, but I can't leave the medbay unattended.
Okay.
No, can't say I'll have what you need, but you're welcome to look. A reporter. Fine, but I'm only talking basics. I don't like people snooping around my business.
You sound like a weasel, that's why.
Name's Henrik. I own Apex Electronics. That's all I'm willing to say to some nosy reporter. Door's still open, isn't it? That's my idea of success. Sorry if you were hoping for something more flowery. How the hell do you think? Life's a mess down here. I'm not holding my breath for it to get any better. Great! Now why don't you help me out and buy something? I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Stock's a bit... Happy to make a deal if I can.
There you go. You happy?
Stay safe out there.
It's a quaint shop, isn't it? I like it here.
Laser weapons do 5% more critical. Okay. I don't really use laser weapons, but...
Always nice to see a fresh face around
Everyone's
here.
welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself.
Whenever you'd like.
Understand?
Oh, that sounds very sad.
Absolutely. I'm sure my mom would be proud to have the place featured in an article. What's up? Yeah, sure thing. I'm Teresa Mason, and this is my home. My mom's the Kay who founded Kay's house. I grew up here along with the business. My mom passed the place on to me when she decided to retire. Running it is my pride and joy. I've put everything I have into it. Business is steady, as usual. We don't tolerate violence or disrespect, so a lot of folks like to spend time here. The only thing that's worrying me is a new group of customers I've seen hanging around lately. They've been watching the UC Surplus store pretty closely. I have a bad feeling they might be planning something. Kay's house has a reputation as a safe place. I don't want to be associated with that kind of thing. Honestly, I'd really appreciate that. I'd feel terrible if something happened and I hadn't done anything to try to stop it. Why don't you come
You're
by
so
when you have
quiet.
some spare time, and we'll talk it out. Great. Let me know when the article comes out, will you? I'd like to read it.
Andrea, trying to get in the shower with me?
No shortage of hungry mouths to feed. Would you? I'd really appreciate it. I saw them hanging around the UC Surplus earlier today. They sure looked suspicious to me. They've been coming here regularly for the last couple weeks, and all they do is sit on the balcony and watch the UC Surplus. I thought I heard them mention a robbery, but I'm not sure. They seem to know I'm onto them, so they stop talking about it when I'm around. I'd rather you didn't. I want to make sure I'm right about this before we go to security. But I have to be sure they're up to something before I get the authorities involved. I don't want to get anyone on security's bad side for no reason. Why don't you do a little sleuthing for me? Maybe you'll have better luck eavesdropping on them than I did. We can decide what to do once we figure out if they're really up to something.
I can do that.
You have a nice day now.
I don't know, Isaac. Seems like a tough joint to crack.
Nah, that's just what they want you to think, Louis. You see security around here?
No. What?
But nothing. I say we strike while the iron's hot. I have a feeling that goody two-shoes at Kay's place is gonna rat us out.
She was giving us some serious side eye last time we were in there.
See? No time like the present. We'll do it tonight. It'll be fine, trust me. We'll be in enough time to make last call at Jake's. If we pull this off, we'll be swimming in credits.
I sure hope we can make it happen.
I've just about had enough of you doubting me, Louis.
If you say so, Isaac.
Frick's info is good. This'll be a piece of cake.
Should anybody else try something like this?
That's because it's stupid.
We'll be fine.
I guess I need to work on my self-confidence.
If we can make this happen, we'll be real big.
If you haven't, make sure you say hello to Mama. She likes checking in with everyone. Damn. I was hoping I had it wrong. I guess that settles it. We have to get the authorities involved before they can go through with the robbery. You should take this straight to Officer Endler at the security office. He'll look into it. If he gives you a hard time, tell him I sent you to make the report. That'll get him on your side. Thanks. Let me know when you've made the report, okay?
Do you know why this place has stood for so long? I make sure everyone's comfy. I tell it like it is, and I don't take any shit.
Thought you were retired. Why are you sitting in front of house? What?
Something never a dull day for security in the well. Well, that's what we're here for. What's going on? The UC surplus. You sure about that? It's been a long time since someone was stupid enough to rob that place. That's all. Nobody in the well is more reliable than Teresa. If she says there's a problem, I believe it. You can tell her I'm personally looking into it. That should ease her mind. Those thieves won't be so cocky with security on patrol.
This is the back and forthiest mission I've done yet.
Don't take it personal if I don't stop to chat. Lots to do, not nearly enough hands to do it all. That was quick. How'd things go with Officer Endler? I knew I could count on him. He always handles this kind of thing fairly. Thanks for your help with this. I feel a lot better knowing security's on patrol down there.
It's literally right next to the security office. It's kind of ridiculous that even need to happen.
And don't be a stranger.
I guess we'll do a couple of these missions for the well. Reliant Medical, get some pediatric information. Andrea wants to talk to me.
It is a relief to know that the Terramorphs are being dealt with. But are you sure this Aseles creature is the right way to do it? Where Terramorphs are concerned, I do not believe there is a way to remove risk.
You didn't like it when I chose that option, so I chose the other option.
It has its own risks, but what of the risks to who knows how many human lives until the Aseles can do its job? It is too soon to know, and at least something is being done. Any effort is better than none. And I must say, I find it curious that you would agree keeping the Lazarus plant around is a good idea. It seems an additional, unnecessary risk. I do not think some potential future use outweighs the risk it poses now. At least the Freestar Collective will also know of its existence. Otherwise, I worry it would be too tempting for the UC to use as a weapon. Well, it is good to know that this particular threat is behind us, and you have done a service to all who live in the settled systems.
Alright, let's go do this mission for the kids here, and then boogity boogity. Is this person gonna be like indignant about people in the well?
The majority of citizens here in New Atlantis count on Reliant Medical. I believe our reputation speaks for itself. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you.
A medical problem Talia can't solve. I never thought I'd see the day. How can I help?
We've been professional acquaintances for a long time. She's an excellent nurse. If the well didn't need her so badly, I'd have offered her a job here ages ago. Sick children. Well, we can't have that. I'd be happy to help.
What a nice guy.
Let's see. A stomach bug. I've treated plenty of those. I keep extensive notes. I'm sure I have something that can help. Ah, yes, here we go. This should do the trick. I've uploaded some of my notes on common stomach issues in pediatric patients to this slate. Please, pass it on to Talia. She can keep it. And give her my best, will you? I hope everything works out for those kids.
Booyakasha.
If you need patching up, we'll see what we can do. Really? Let's see. Ah, this is perfect. I knew Dr. Lebedev would have what I needed. I'll have this solved in no time with these notes for reference. Thank you so much, dear. Really. I couldn't have done this without you.
Yeah, well, you know. Alright. That looks like good enough for this time. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Go follow me on the Twitter X. DebarkTTV. Peace.